Just the decision to rotate quarterback, still one guy.
You know, just because they're really nobody separated themselves in practice. They both add different elements to to our ability to run the offense. So I wanted to give both of them opportunity and just kind of go with we felt was operating the offense more efficiently.
Do you think maybe at halftime one of those guys by then would establish themselves? It seems like nobody did, and you just kept alternating in the second half as well.
Yeah, it's exactly right.
At what point in this week did you know Hudson wasn't going to be able to go?
Thursday.
Is that a short-term injury or?
I hope so.
Just not kicking the field goals, not trying to kick the field goals in the first step. Just sort of talk about what your thought process was.
Well, after the first field goal, and then, I knew the situation we were in offensively, just with, our offensive line, like Ben Farrell, tried to go through warm-ups, he couldn't go. So Musa was supposed to be in an emergency situation, but, thank God for him, because he's like, Coach, let me go, let me fight through it. And so I knew our defense was playing well at that time, and I knew moving the ball and trying to get points was going to be difficult during the game. And so, we got down to the 1 yard line 2 times and couldn't get in there.
Why did you decide to pass on the end of the first half there at your own 2?
Well, so we said, let's take a shot to Dion. If they go to cover 2 and he's not open, just throw it out of bounds. And so obviously went cover 2, he wasn't open, and he didn't throw it out of bounds.
You pleased with the defense? It seemed like the defense for the most part played pretty well with that.
I mean, I'm not pleased with the way we started. That's 2 weeks in a row. On 4 plays and a touchdown. I got to figure out why that happens, because it's not like we're seeing anything or calling anything different in the opening series. And I think the thing that's frustrating defensively is for long stretches during the course of a game, it'll look like I'm used to it looking. It'll look like what I feel like we're capable of doing. But for whatever reason, it's hard to sustain that for 4 quarters. And like I said, when you're in a situation like we're in, you have to be able to sustain it for 4 quarters to give ourselves a chance to win a ball game. And our Achilles heel this season has been explosive plays. And so, you misfit one time and the ball carrier gets out. You get your eyes in the wrong spot one time, and or you take a bad angle and can't get it down. Then it's a touchdown. Those are like it's 14 points in a game that's hard to score. And so you can play great for 80 snaps, but on 2 of them, if they're not great, that leads to points. And so it don't really matter how you played during the stretches. That's why the game is all about how you finish, and we just weren't able to finish today defensively.
How limited was the offense without Hudson, playbook-wise?
I mean, Hudson is our starter. You know what I mean? And so you got 2 guys that haven't taken a snap. You know what I mean? And so there's definitely things that from a schematic standpoint that we try to do to help those guys and cater to what their comfort level was. I thought Graham did a good job of calling the game today. Even on some of the plays we missed, where the ball was supposed to go was there were opportunities there. So kudos to Northwestern for playing smarter for longer than we did.
Why did you go with Ryan on the last drive there? Did you just feel more comfortable with him?
Yep.
And then with Hudson, was that something that happened in the Minnesota game?
Yep.
And with Nick as well. Just when did you know?
Nick was a Thursday freak accident deal.
Coach, did you let you go to the run game more with Hudson being out, or was that just the design?
Absolutely.
Would you like to see, or maybe moving forward, maybe will we see different things in those short yard situations, or is it just kind of a coaching thing?
I mean, obviously, I got to look at the tape. I thought, based on the calls that we called in the box that was presented, that we had opportunities. So obviously, like, we can do different things schematically, and we also need to win our one-on-one matchups.
Ryan, the special teams, obviously, you miss a field goal, you muff a a punt return that gives them 3 points in a game where it felt like every point mattered. That seemed to be maybe the Achilles heel today a little bit. Do you kind of see it that way?
You know, it's frustrating. I thought we also did some good things. But yeah, you know, you turn it over and the penalties too, like that, you know, it's frustrating.
Anything else for Coach?
Yeah, you mentioned you guys are doing some good things also on the field. What are some of those things that you thought Purdue did well today?
You know, I think we ran for 300 yards again. Is that right?
Yeah.
303.
I mean, obviously, I think we're running the ball well. You know, and again, like it felt like defensively for a long stretch that we were playing well. And then you look up at the end of the game and almost got, you know, they got 329 yards in the game where they felt like they weren't going to get to 200. You know what I'm saying? And again, so you can't say we played well defensively. We didn't do it for the whole game.
Anything else? Cool. Thanks, Coach.